Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're live on Tuesday, April the second day of the month. Let's see what we got going on this here stock market in the pre-market area. See if we can, okay, trying to go so I can make sure I'm on my own video as well. There we go. Well, good morning, everybody. Last night, we did the kickoff for the Options 411 live coaching. 3 snaps up. Phenomenal. It was phenomenal. We always take the first week to really get to know each other because we're going to spend so much time together learning and doing. I want to know who, the backgrounds of the people I'm dealing with and all that goes with that. So that way, as I'm teaching and coaching and looking at material, I'm keeping in mind that these are real people who have real lives and real interests and all those good things. So I take the time that first week to make sure that we're getting to know everyone. Make sure we're getting to know everyone. I'm going to run that ticker. Free charting help. Free charting webinar at startwiththechart.com. It is for the free, as they say, for the free. All right, let's see what we got going this morning. Good morning, all. Let's go here, and then I'm going to need to share my screen. Mm-mm-mm. There we go. So this morning, the VIX is at 14.37. Got a little bit of room there in the VIX. This morning, 1437 is up 0.72. Generally, the VIX is up, market is down. Of course, I say that generally, it doesn't always operate as a one for one, but the VIX has been up in the 12s, have been down in the 12s, I guess, and it had been running up. Now it's in the 14s, and it may be, pausing or going going down a bit. Unemployment is rising in the parts of the U.S. That's not bad at all. Housing outsized role in the Fed's inflation problem. Listen, housing and the rents have gone crazy. All right. Housing prices have been driving a gap between two key inflation readings. It's crazy that um I know a 2 or 3 bedroom here can be very small. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Can be quite small, but they want 18, 19, $2,000 a month for a two, maybe a 3 bedroom place and back with bath. And if you get to anything of size, you into the low 2000s, 2500. It's a lot. It's a lot. Dow futures sink over 100 points as doldrums persist. GE completes a three-way split to start separate trading. What separate trading are they doing? I used to work for GE. I think somebody was talking about they were splitting off the different sectors because GE, when I worked there, was like 12 different businesses. And I think they've maybe, let a few of those go, but maybe they're breaking them off into pieces so they can hopefully have, probably have one thing to carry because GE as a whole seems to be struggling. They did like a stock consolidation, what, a 10 for one not long ago, and I don't think that went all that great. And the price went back down to not so high. Okay, let's look at what we got. Dow futures fall 300 points as a rough start to the quarter continues on higher rates. I really need somebody, if you're on the call, to look for the seasonality for April. If we have people on the call who are seasonality, who look at the seasonality calendar, let's see what seasonality says for April. Good morning, Janae. Good morning, Tanya. And good morning, Ward. Hi. Hi, everyone. CNBC has our pre-market. The Dow futures are down 0.72%. S&P futures down 0.64%. NASDAQ futures down 0.84%. Oil is green. U.S. 10-year Bonds is also green. Dow futures fall 200 points as slow start to the new quarter continues. 200 points down here, 300 points up here. It was 100 points on the other page. It's that the Dow is down. That's pretty much the crux of that. Today's Tuesday. This morning we've got JOLTS job openings, which is our red folder coming at 10 o'clock. Right? Let me go see what it says about JOLTS job openings. The number of job openings during the reported month, excluding the farming industry. We care about it because it's released late, but can impact the market because job openings are a leading indicator of overall employment. Okay, JOLTS job openings. How many jobs are open? At 10 o'clock, we also have factory orders. 10:10, we've got FOMC member Bowman will speak at 10:10 all day. We've got total vehicle sales going on. They show this as a yellow folder, but it probably should be orange because what's going on in the vehicle space is also an indicator of what's happening in the economy. 12 o'clock, we've got FOMC member Williams speaking. Mester is speaking at 12:05, and at 1:30, Daly will speak. Now, tomorrow, Powell is going to speak tomorrow at noon, right? I think he's speaking at a particular forum, but anytime Powell is going to say something, the market's kind of get a little bit of a jump. Okay, that's for tomorrow. Janae says, not sure about seasonality, but April tends to be a good month in the market, and it's an election year, so we're still better than average upwards. Okay, there is I'll take it. Thank you, Janae. There's a seasonality calendar that shows you I can't remember where, like seasonality, because what we use it for is in the market. So what you use this seasonality for, and it might be right here in Investopedia, every month it shows you whether that month shows equity clock. There it is. Whether that month shows it's mostly, ends higher than it starts, or does it close higher than it starts, right? And it can go by equities. It can go by particular stocks. Like here you see major indexes. Are we on the chat? I think we're on the page. Major indexes. Let's do S&P 5. I don't know if it's going to let me go in like that. Sectors are here. Industries are here. Commodities are here. Let me see if I can get SPX pulled up just so we can see what seasonality usually looks like in the overall market. And I don't really want to go too far down this rabbit hole. I know there are people who can come and put me directly on the page, and I don't look like I'm going to get directly. Oh, maybe this is it. Let's see. SPX Corp. That's no SP Corp. April looks like it goes up here, but I'm not sure if this is the real. That says SPX Corp. SPXC. We don't know who are those people. We don't know who those people are. We just want regular SPX. These are all the SPXs. Well, you know what we can do? We can look at SPY since they kind of run together. We may have an opportunity to see, and then it gives us SPY. I just want regular SPY, just the regular one. Let's see, symbol by letter. I'll save myself and just go there and see if this will help us. Probably not, because these are not in alphabetical order. Okay, if somebody comes on who can get us to the seasonality chart, please let me know. All right. Speaking of SPX, it closed yesterday at 52.43, basically down 10. It didn't really do a whole lot. You want a pizza with nothing? No, I want. Janae, what are you talking about? Do I want a pizza with nothing? No. Okay. Let's go SPX 500. Actually, I could just go SPX and see what it did yesterday. SPX yesterday. This was our candle, our yesterday's candle. Monday starting off the quarter. Oh, regular SPY. Yes, regular SPY. Pizza with nothing. This is our, it went up basically to this resistance area. Where's my candle there? So it tells me what does that actually say? This little line is supposed to say something. It probably says it's a week, that it's a week resistance or week high. Sometimes it will say, right? That's what's here. I'm gonna turn my stuff. Is it all back on? I think it is. Why do I feel like my things aren't here? Oh, there they go. There it is. There it is. Okay, we're still moving green up, down, but we're still staying above this 9 period moving average, steadily climbing. The moving averages are still spread out a bit and it's still climbing higher and higher. Yes. Okay, that was SPX yesterday. Let's look at what it did like during the day, because there's always opportunities. Okay, this is April the 1st. This is the starting candle. That's actually there right here, this green one. Right, started up, did a little run, just a little short run to the top, dropped down to some support at the bottom of this line, and which is 1145. It hit this support area, went up a bit, kind of danced around, retested this support again, and went on up some more. Went on up some more. Still staying above the 200 period moving average, still going upwards. I don't know if I would have. Oh, that would have been a good place. Okay. Mm-hmm. All righty. All righty. That's SPX from yesterday. Dropped a bit, came back up. What stocks did we get in yesterday? Did anybody get in some stocks yesterday? I think I got a few more things to go look at before I get too deep into what happened yesterday. This is Amazon. Big old candles. Where we're trying to go up. Then it pulled back a little bit, a lot of bit. So we opened yesterday our Amazon. Oh, look at the big wicks. Ooh, it's kind of a doji, but it's got a long wick to the top. So price went up there and then came on back down first thing in the morning. And we're currently at 179.50 on Amazon. I'm looking because my trade is 177.5, 175 is what I have on Amazon, and I need it to do right. I need Amazon to be a do right man. Y'all remember that song? So we've got a few earnings that happened yesterday. Companies I don't necessarily recognize. Doesn't mean other people don't, but I don't necessarily recognize. PVH, GOEV, Microvast or Microvast, Pioneer Power Solutions, Zomedica, Omeros, Duos Tech, NYC REIT. This is a REIT, New York City REIT, NGS, and Vertra. This morning, Paychex has earnings before market opened, and then after close, we're going to have Dave and Buster's and Cal-Maine Foods. Tomorrow we got Acuity Brands, Ice Cure in the morning, BioMX, and then tomorrow after market close we've got BlackBerry, Levi's, Simulation Plus, Sportsman, and RGP. That's what's happening in the earnings. Not a lot to move us harshly in the market for earnings, but you just never know. Okay, moving on up like the Jeffersons, for sure, for sure. This is our list of options trades for the week. I know Jamie took a good time yesterday, not a long time. Please don't let him hear me say it took a long time, because they'll be like, you said I'm taking too long. Well, I didn't say you were taking too long. I said you're taking longer than you used to take. Anyway, did anybody get into any of these trades yesterday? I think I saw that in our Telegram group, we had some people who got into Google, and let me see, what did I saw Google people got into MGM, Taiwan Semiconductors, Amazon, Uber. I said Uber, I think. Did I say Uber already? Yeah, I did. What other things do we have on here that are of interest? Let's look at some. We can look at some airlines or look at some banks this morning. Maybe look at an airline and look at a bank. We looked at Devon on Sunday. What did they actually do? Devon is energy. Devon, Oxy. Yeah, Amazon went to 179.5 is where it is now. We can look again this morning. I'm going to look at, how about we look at RCL? Was that Royal Caribbean? Okay, I got 2 or 3 on the list. Okay, go back to add to the stage. We're looking at Amazon. XLE is energy, and XLE is good for energy because it's an ETF. It's a sector ETF, and you can hit everybody basically. You hit a lot of folks all at one time. So this is Amazon on the chart here. Yesterday's candle is this one here. This chinchy winchy or this little doji looking candle. I think I got to adjust some of these lines so I can see. This does say week high up here, so I can see them and not have so many of them. Support would be at 180.13. That will be at 180.13. Make it bigger, so we know that's the line I put there, not the line that comes with it. Comes with the indicator. It went a little below there. It's a little below there now. We gotta, if we look for some more support, we might have to go to a smaller time frame to see more support under where we currently are. Well, down to the bottom of this zone, which is 179.33, that's going to provide some support as well. That comes from back here on the 28th of March. That doesn't hold, then our next one is 178.34. We've got a few support areas between here and 177.5. Let's look at XLE now that we're talking about it. Take us back to the daily chart. XLE, I pull it in so we can see, kind of get an overall picture. It's always good to kind of see the overall picture. And then as you see what happened, you're free to, I want to remove these drawings so I can see what's happening. Okay. See some support here. Previous week's low, it says. Nope, not that one. Is here. Right, that's at 92.22. We got another support. If we're looking at supports, because this has been going up a while, another support at 91.23. There's a gap down here that needs to be filled. Actually, there's a gap closer to where we currently are that needs to be filled, or that will want to be filled also. See this gap here? There's a gap here. That's between Wednesday and Thursday of last week. There also was another gap formed with yesterday's open. Price action went down and filled that one yesterday. Y'all already know how I feel about the gaps, whether the body feels it or whether the wick feels it. In my opinion, the body is a feel, not the wick, but I think that's easy to be. It can go either way. So we've got some support at the bottom of this gap, which is 94.44, and we've got support at the bottom of 93.40. And even in the middle of these gaps, there will be support. We've talked about that a couple times, how if the gap is partway through, you can also find some support at the 25%, 50%, 75%. In the middle of these gaps, you can find some support there as well. But if I was looking at XLE, I would, for the week, I'd look at 94, depending on how things were looking. I'd look at 94 or 93.5, depending on which one you were comfortable with. I'd either do 94 or 93.5 put credit spread. Again, not investment advice, just talking about what I see. Put credit spread at 93.5 or 94. Really depends on which one you're comfortable with, which ones of those fit our steps. We look at the probability out of the money, we look at the plus minus number, whichever ones fit there, then that's how you want to work that. Okay. That's on XLE. Let's look at Devon. See what it did yesterday. Devon had a gap. It gapped up over the weekend. We had talked about that third from Wednesday to Thursday. We talked about this over the weekend. And then yesterday, just a little bitty doji here. It didn't do a lot of, oh shoot, didn't mean to move that around. It did a little bit of up and down. It's currently at 51.21 this morning though, so it's already at the top of this wick. We'll have to see if that will hold once the market opens. But here we have a gap there. And we've got this lets us know there's some supports inside the gap. There. So it's been going upwards as well. And I believe Devon is on our list for the week, is on our trades list for the week. If you hopped in first thing with 49.50, I probably would have went with 50 or 49.5. I think 49.5 is what's on our sheet. Let me see. Come on, Cletus. Devon is 48.5. Yeah, if you're getting into that today, you may be able to go even a little higher. Yeah, we haven't looked at the XLs in a few weeks, Tanya. You're right. We got to keep those in our rotation. We got to keep those in the rotation. But yeah, Devon is at 49. Is the strike there? We're currently at 51, so it's not a big stock price-wise, so you may look at the probability of the money and all those things and maybe get in even a little closer. You can maybe do that. Okay, Devin, let's look at Oxy. I don't know if we looked at Oxy yesterday. I don't remember all the ones that got charted yesterday. We had a gap up. Both of these, this is all energy though, Mitch Wade. These charts are kind of all looking similar as far as they gapped up between Wednesday and Thursday and gapped up again between Thursday and yesterday. Looking at put credit spread, you can either go with support at 63, which is probably a little lower. We're currently at 66. You could also go with 64. And you've got the gap, the bottom of this gap, which is 64.98 or 65. You could go with that as well. What did we have as Oxy's strike? 64. We had 64 as the Oxy strike. If you had gotten into Oxy already, then it should have moved. It's moved up a couple dollars. You may even be almost ready to get ready to close it. You may be about ready to close it. Okay, that's Oxy. And now I'm pretty sure we haven't looked at this one, RCL, the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Do we have any Royal Caribbean riders? I went on Royal Caribbean. My first cruise was it my first? Not even my first. I call it Real Cruise. I went on this other itty bitty cruise where we just, went out into the water and basically dropped anchor, stayed there through the night, and then went over to the Bahamas, I think it was, and stayed there for a day, and then came back, did the same thing, stayed there for a couple of days, and basically came back, did the same thing, went into the water, sat in open water so they could run the slot machines basically, and then in the morning they start to bring you back in. That was way back, but then we did. Then I did a Royal Caribbean cruise, which I thought was pretty good. I may have to investigate. There's a cruise ship that leaves out of Jacksonville. I have to look at what does that include, and when. What kind of dates do we have? Okay. This is Royal Caribbean. Michelle, you said me. Me meaning you got into Oxy yesterday? Is that the me? Okay, let's put some lines on this here chart. 135.57. This whole zone here has support, so it really can be, this can really be brought up a little higher, but this is the area. Just know anytime you put a line on your chart, you're not putting like a hard line. It is a zone, right? You need to know in your mind that you don't necessarily put both lines on a zone because that can make your chart be really crowded. But you should know that each of these zones, each of these lines is a zone. Come on. Michelle said no about Royal Caribbean. Oh, you were saying, but you went on a Royal Caribbean. Yes, yes, yes. Went on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Mm, okay, so but we've continued to be going upwards, upwards and upwards. Yes, so if we're looking at, let me see if this is a rest. Yep, this right here is also a chair. So we could put another one in here. Nope. Give me a line. We can put one in here as well. 139.29. We're currently at 138.13, so you might want to go down because this is dropped below that so far this morning in the pre-market, but you've got 136.52. Definitely make sure that you're um, looking at the probability out of the money. I'm going to go look real quick. If I take the time to turn on, what's the name? That's going to be a spending time to turn on Think or Swim. It takes a while to load up. The 15-minute chart, it's got it dropping and jumping around. That's weird. So if we're looking at this Friday, probability out of the money, I see 136 or 137. 137 has like a 68%. 137, 136 is 78%. You could go with one of those if you were going to go that route. No. No. PCS at 136 or 137. That's going to depend on how froggy you feeling. How froggy are you feeling? 136 puts us below this, just a bit below this. 137 is a little higher, of course. Could be an option. Yes, yes, it could be an option. Do we have anything else we wanted to see? I picked my own. And then I think Tanya's did mention, oh, go away. I'm not sharing my chart. What am I sharing? Oh, let's go and share the chart. I clicked it. My computer's moving slow. Thank you, Michelle. This is Royal Caribbean. We do want to see the chart. Oh, no, you ain't going to come for me with DraftKings, Janae. I'm going to forever remember you with DraftKings, but DraftKings has been doing its thing. Well, it had a pullback, so now maybe if you're interested in DraftKings, maybe a time. The expectation was that it was going to go really well during the basketball season that we're in, but then after somebody came out talking about people going to get addicted to gambling, like they didn't get addicted during the lottery and all that stuff. It did seem to have some movement, but that's um, they've had to combat that information about the people going to get addicted to gambling. Okay, so this has been the last 3 days of trading. This was the day that the bad news came out, and then the last 2 days it's kind of been here. But it did come right into support, which is at 44.94. In the pre-market, it's at 43.98 though. So you may want to, if you're going to do it as a put credit spread, you probably should get down into the 42 area. I see a whole bunch of stuff happening in here. You see that it's kind of been in a range when it was here, and it has gone out and it's coming back in. This indicator up here at the top is showing that, let me stretch it out a little bit. This indicator here that I'm using tells you the green arrow is like we got upwards movement, and the red arrow shows that it's crossed over potential downwards movement. So a call credit spread may be a better move, to be honest, but you have to, these are daily. It's crossing over for that. Let's see if we look at the weekly chart, what kind of crossover do we have? On the weekly chart, it's also seeming to come back together. It hasn't come together yet here, so that may be an indication of something that's going on there. So if I was looking at DraftKings uh, for this week, I probably would go with a call credit spread, to be honest. I probably would go with a call credit spread of above 50. It hadn't bumped above 50. I probably would do that. Actually, it's down in the 44s, 43, so 50 is actually too far away. There's a line in here. There's some resistance and stuff in here. There's a gap that got filled. 46. I definitely would look to see. Let's see. I'll look at it on the chart. The market's getting ready to open in a couple of minutes. If I was looking for a call credit spread, you've got 45.5 is 68 and 46 is 74, 71. So 46. If you could get up as high as this 49, but there's probably not going to be any decent money up at 49. Nope, there's not. So you're going to probably need to get somewhere in this middle part, like I told you, 46 or higher, 46.5 maybe. 46 or 46.5 is going to provide you for a 50-cent spread. And the market is closed right now, so just know these amounts aren't as accurate. But 46.5, 47 is paying $9, and 46.5 is paying 11. So that's over 20% return on a 50-cent spread. That wouldn't be bad. 46.5, 47 may not be bad. Let me see what these candles look like. So do they look like turning? These wicks are getting a little longer. That may give you an indication that it's going to try to turn around, but definitely I would look again up here at the 46, which actually is more like in here. And if you were going to do a put credit spread, because you may have an iron condor opportunity with this one. We love iron condors because then we can get double the money. You could look at, let me see what's on the other side. 73 is at 43. So if you're down here at 43, which is definitely in the fray, you could do a put credit spread down here. Y'all know how to look for strikes. The people who are, talking in the chat definitely know how to look for strikes, but we use probability out of the money, which if you don't know how to do that, you can check my YouTube channel. And we use the plus minus number, which is also, I think, in that same video. All right. While you're hanging out, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Pass the word to your friends. Let the folks know that our list is on every single morning. Our list is on every single morning. It's like we've got support there. Previous week's low. Previous day low. I had a thought that came into my mind. I have to go back to a video I didn't finish watching. About 113 and the 113, and this is Exxon we're looking at. Exxon is also in the energy space, right? Going up, going up, going up, looking for a put credit spread, 72% at 116. We're currently at 118. Market sounds like it opened. DraftKings opened even lower. So yeah, if I was going to do it, I would look in a call credit spread, or I would go lower than this 43. This is SPY. We hadn't looked at SPY in a while. I never did share Adam's numbers. Let me go do that. I need to do that. I never got to Adam's numbers. I usually make it the second. I usually make it the second slide. That way I don't forget it. Exxon is Exxon gas. Yeah, but Exxon gas, isn't Exxon like energy? That doesn't fall in the energy space? Alrighty. So these are the levels from Adam. Adam Mancini basically is a level to level trader, which means he's a buyer of the ES. He does futures and he trades it by levels. He buys calls, he buys puts. He does seem to be bullish a lot, but then the market has been bullish a lot. So we bring his levels in for ES and then we change them for the SPX because SPX and ES, as you see at the bottom here, currently has a 55-point gap. There's a 55-point difference between the numbers. Even though the stock is moving at the same thing, I think the ES might run a little bit ahead of it. But anyway, levels respecting precisely in SPX, I was looking for a pop to 42.40, 52.44, 52.47, and it posted 52.20 tomorrow if it can't reclaim. We tested 52.44 and 47 exactly and sold to 52.20. The plan is 52.12 is the next down. It's a wide zone and it's key. It must hold on reclaim 52.25 to retest 52.31 and 52.44 plus. We get the next leg down if we get under 52.12. Next leg down under 52.12. So now I need to go back to here and see what did SPX open at. Looks like we're at 51.99, which is a bit below 52.12. What it will do, we'll have to see. Let's change ourselves to a smaller time frame and see what's going, because a lot of times it will do just that. It will gap down and then it will come back up to fill the gap. Trade what you see. That's what I always say to the community, is to trade what you see. All right. If you see the levels, that's why we have the charting webinar running along the ticker at the bottom. There's a free charting webinar that will help you with things like what are charts, what are chart patterns, what are candle patterns, what are some indicators you can use, how do you read charts, how do you do support and resistance, how do you do trend lines. All of that is in that webinar. All right. So go ahead and avail yourselves to the free webinar. All right. Avail yourselves to the free webinar. This line here says this is a weak low, WEAK, not the WEEK, WEAK low. It's a weak low. Okay. It might also say WEEK because it's also the week's low. It's the low for this week so far, but that's not what it says. Okay. Here we are on SPX. As I said, we started the options 411 live coaching last night. Had a really nice kickoff session. Got to know the people who are hanging out with us. It's not too late for you to join up, by the way. If you decide you want to join in, what we did last night, we get to know each other, and I gave some homework, and we had a mindset discussion, and we talked about what it takes to be a trader and a little bit more about that. But you still can jump in if you're interested in jumping into the um, options 411 6-week live coaching. You still can join us and we can run on from here. We can run on from here. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. Good morning, Patrick. Tanya said, Janae, I said the same thing. I was completely breached on DraftKings last week. Yeah, DraftKings was looking like it was going to be March Madness and going on. And then news came out. When that news came out about they're worried about people getting addicted to gambling. Oh, so hypocritical. We got lottery pushed down our throats in multiple states under the umbrella or under the guise of it's going to help education. And okay, but what Florida did, I'm getting ready to hop on my soapbox. What Florida did was took in the lottery money for education. What they made us think was they were going to do lottery money was going to basically supplement what was already being given for school money for education. But what they actually did was took the lottery money and put it in the education fund, and the money that the lottery covers, they took that money out of the education and put it someplace else. Now, where's the someplace else? I don't know. But they made us think they were going to improve education so greatly once we had lottery money to use for education. But they ended up with, so we ended up with the same amount of money we had all along. It's just lottery pays for some of it and the taxes pay for some of it. They didn't really buy us anything. Our education system did not get any more money. That's Florida though. Other places might have a different, thing on what happened, but that's what happened here. Okay. Nobody cared that folks was gonna get addicted to gambling then. And you can now go into any store side stand. They got machines everywhere to buy them scratch offs. Everywhere. Anyway, soapbox over. Let me see what slide I want to go to. Here we go. Remember that our membership is open. We've got E2T membership, 9:30 morning calls. We've got training calls on Wednesday nights, which I believe we've moved to Thursday now as a result of our new group of people. And monthly coaching call, which our coaching call for this month is going to be this Saturday. I'm pondering our topic. I don't have a thought. If you're in our membership, think about what you'd like to have for a topic. I'm thinking I may want to do some other strategies, but we may have to rinse and repeat what we haven't circled back to cover calls and cash secure puts in a minute. We might have to swing back that way. But the membership is open. All righty, it's open. E2T Traders Declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts grow more and more each week. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Lord, it is you who gives us the power to get wealth. Teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. Ward says that the Dow opened 400 points lower. Yeah. We might be looking at a little bit of red, but you can trade what you see. Do all your, check and see. Do we have much more low going? We've been, we're going to probably hit some support, get enough juice and go the other way. You just never know. That's just speculation on my part. Seems like all the dips have been bought over the last several months. April might be turning of the tide, but at this point, the dips have been purchased. All right. I'm getting ready to go and teach these pre-calculus kids. We're still doing trig functions. It's like we both learning trig functions, them and me. I'm refreshing my mind and they are learning. So I don't know if it's always a good move for both of us, but we're muscling our way through it. All right, let's do two things today. Always, we're gonna stay green and we're gonna get this money. All right, I'll see you all in the market. Everybody have a great green day. See you all later. Bye, everyone.